What's good, boys and girls? This your boy King Martin Fresh Boy. Today video that I'm gonna react to the rappers that age terrible. So yeah, so to me I'm gonna react to it. But when I get to the reaction video, I'm gonna let you know that what I've been doing. I'll be taking care of my family and I'll be doing short videos. And y'all didn't have a chance to see these short videos, just check them out and look through it. Hit that like, comment, and also just show your best love on TikTok. Oh yeah, I be posting a lot of short video on TikTok as well. So yeah, so now I've been doing lately though too. So yes, I ain't stopped doing reaction video, but I'm doing something different. Instead of doing cop videos, I'm doing something different reaction videos though too. So yes, to me though, I'm just want y'all enjoy watching this video that I'm react to and see my reaction as well. So yeah, so if you're new to the channel, make sure that like, subscribe, tap back to our comment, share with your family, and don't forget that subscribe button help channel lots. And hit me on Instagram, TikTok, show you much love. Alright boys and girls, and let's get to it. Alright, 15 rappers who had aged terrible then and now. They hit that light. Turn that bad boy up. Yep, that's Lil Wayne. Let's get to it.
Some rappers age like fine wine, but others, they age like milk left out in the summer sun and almost unrecognizable. From seizures on private jets to addiction-fueled collapses to transformations that left fans stunned.
He hasn't really aged that well. He's only 40 years old, but he looks...
These are 15 rappers who have aged terribly. And just wait until you see number 6. It's unbelievable. We begin with number 1, Lil Wayne. There was a time when Wayne was untouchable. A child prodigy out of New Orleans, he joined the Hot Boys at just 15 and quickly grew into one of the most influential rappers of his generation. By the mid-2000s, during the Carter III era, he looked like a kid with boundless energy, spitting fire with a baby face that made fans believe he would stay young forever. But now, fans barely recognize him. Wayne has publicly battled epilepsy, and the world first learned about his condition in 2013 after a week-long hospitalization from major seizures. Since then, headlines have chronicled emergency flight landings, canceled concerts, and viral photos that show a man who looks decades older than his actual age of 41. His once thick dreadlocks are thinning, his frame looks frail, and his skin shows the toll of years of lean use, stress, and constant touring. In interviews, Wayne has admitted he likely had seizures as a child, but went undiagnosed. His cousin even from the condition. He's tried to make lifestyle changes, sleeping more, eating better, but the damage is visible. As one fan wrote on Twitter, Wayne looks 60 at 40. Lean robbed him of his youth. The shocking part? Wayne is still making music, still selling out arenas, but his body tells the story of a star who gave everything to hip-hop and may not have much left to give. Got it, I'll polish and expand each section to 250 words, giving it more emotional punch, historical weight, and fan industry context, while keeping it voiceover ready and smooth for retention. Moving to number 2, DMX. In the late 90s, DMX wasn't just a rapper, he was a cultural earthquake. His gravelly voice, shirtless intensity, and raw pitbull-like stage presence gave us classics like Rough Riders Anthem and Party Up. Back then, X looked like an unstoppable warrior, ripped, fierce, and full of untamed energy. But his rise to the top hid scars that would never fully heal. At just 14, a mentor he trusted laced his first blunt with crack of betrayal that haunted him forever. Wow. That single moment ignited a lifetime of addiction. Through the 2000s, DMX cycled between chart-topping success and personal chaos, multiple prison stints, rehab, and very public breakdowns. In one heartbreaking interview with Dr. Filled, he admitted to suffering from bipolar disorder, explaining how mania fueled his highs but depression dragged him to devastating lows. By the 2010s, the years of struggle left their mark. His once powerful frame had withered, his cheeks hollowed, his teeth missing, his body frail. Yet, through it all, he stayed authentic. Every album contained a prayer, reminding fans that his fight was their fight too. When DMX passed in 2021, after a heart attack triggered by an overdose, the hip-hop community didn't just lose a legend, they lost a man who embodied pain and resilience in equal measure. On Reddit, one fan captured it perfectly.
It's crazy that they be
DMX
doing
aged terribly,
drugs.
but only because life treated him terribly. He was the realest
And-
to ever do it. His aging wasn't vanity, it was survival written on his skin. Number 3 takes us
It's just crazy that they be doing other stuff, damage that body, though, make it look bad. Like Lil Wayne, he was doing a lot of stuff, and look at him, he look bad. That them drugs he be doing, and like it's crazy though, when they have money, they spend the money on like drugs and all that. You gotta take care of your body. Cause one of my friend, he said, "Man, you still look young." Yeah, I be taking care of my body though. Cause my friend, I think he was the same age as me, but he looked bad though. That's the crazy part. I was like, he was probably doing something more than doing other stuff though too. But to me though, I don't know what to say. I know people gonna get old. That's one thing about it. I know people gonna get old cause, hey, everybody gonna be young rest of their life. But if you doing something damage your body, makes you have a seizure or a collapse, make your body clap on you, and you have rushed to the hospital, you need to stop you doing that. That's just the case. That's why parents be telling kids, don't do drugs. Cause it make you look bad, make you look like a freaking zombie.
to Flavor Flav. During Public Enemy's prime in the
He got that
late
big
80s and
ass
early
clock.
90s, Flavor Flav was pure electricity. He was the eccentric sidekick to Chuck D's seriousness, rocking giant clock necklaces, oversized shades, and unmatched energy.
Wait, the
His
clock.
wild charisma wasn't just comic relief, it made him unforgettable, the very definition of hip-hop chaos. But behind the antics was a dark spiral. Years of crack addiction ravaged his body and
crack.
career. On DJ Academic's podcast, Flav admitted he once spent up to $2,600 a day on for 6 straight years. Do the math. That's over 5 million smoked away. The drugs didn't just drain his bank
Wow.
account. They robbed him of time. He somehow kept much of it hidden during his Public Enemy run. But as the years went by, the damage became undeniable. His appearance aged
Ugh.
decades faster than his actual years. Now at 64, though he's been clean from crack for over 15 years, the toll is visible. Deep wrinkles, frail build, and a ghost of the hyperactive hype man fans once knew. Instead of being remembered as the eccentric icon of Public Enemy, he's often associated with his surreal VH1 dating show, Flavor of Love, a reality TV parody that some fans saw as sad, almost exploitative. Flav himself admits, "God let me live so I could teach people about my mistakes." But for many fans, looking at him today is like staring at the aftermath of decades of destruction. He's proof that charisma can fade, but consequences never do. At number 4, we have Eminem. At the turn of the millennium, Eminem was untouchable. Slim Shady stormed the world with bleach blonde hair, razor-sharp wit, and rebellious energy that defined an era. He wasn't just a
8 Mile,
rapper,
that
he was a
movie,
cultural villain, flipping off cameras on MTV and selling millions while doing it. His youth, slim build, and manic energy gave him an almost immortal aura. But behind the chaos, pills were eating him alive. By 2007, the inevitable happened. Eminem nearly died after a methadone overdose. In his documentary Stands, he admitted doctors told him he had just hours to live. The recovery wasn't easy. He had to relearn how to walk, talk, and even rap. That overdose changed everything. Gone was the cocky, playful Slim Shady. What emerged was a sober man carrying the physical and emotional weight of survival. His once sharp, youthful face became gaunt, with tired eyes and a permanent heaviness. Fans noticed, with one viral YouTube comment stating, "He's alive, but shady years ago." Sobriety saved his life, but it also aged him beyond his years. The once skinny rebel now looks like a man who's lived 10 lives, yet his discipline turned him into an inspiration for recovery. Albums like Recovery weren't just music, they were proof that addiction could be beaten. But even in triumph, the scars remain. Eminem is still here, but the young firebrand who once lit the industry on fire is long gone. Coming in at number 5, Busta Rhymes. In the 90s, nobody embodied raw
Busta Rhymes
energy
had a
like
long
Busta
dreads,
Rhymes.
though.
With his wild
He had dreads
dreadlocks,
up,
lightning
though.
fast raps, and cartoonish stage presence, he looked larger than life, like a superhero of hip-hop. But the death of his father and several close friends sent him spiraling. Depression, comfort eating, and heavy drinking began to take their toll. Over time, the energetic figure fans loved became bloated, sluggish, and visibly struggling. It got so bad that doctors warned him he could die in his sleep. Severe
wow.
sleep apnea and throat polyps blocked nearly 90% of his breathing passage. In a heartbreaking revelation to GQ, Busta said his son once told him, "Dad, you look like you're dying." That was the wake-up call that forced him to act. He began a weight loss journey, cut smoking and drinking, and tried to rebuild his health. But even after the changes, the damage lingers. The viral 2021 clip of Busta gasping for air mid-performance reminded fans that time and struggle had caught up to him. The same man who once commanded a stage with boundless stamina now fights to simply breathe. Busta may still be a legend, but his transformation is one of hip-hop's most jarring proof
But
that
he be
grief
rapping
and
fast,
unhealthy
though.
coping
Like, you don't know what he
mechanisms
be
can
saying.
strip away even the strongest. At number 6, we turn to Lil' Kim.
Oh my God! Police! Police! Help!
Lil' Kim is ugly now. Hands down, she is ugly now. Oh my goodness. What do you think Lil' Kim look like? I'm still waiting for y'all. What do you think she look like?
What the hell? Oh my God! No way! Yeah, yeah.
In the 90s, Lil' Kim was more than a rapper, she was a
The 90s, she looked fine. Shoot, if I born back in the 90s, oh yeah, I would date Lil' Kim. Before she trying to do some kind of surgery on her body. Cause she don't look right. Her body don't look right. She trying to do this. Oh my goodness.
cultural revolution. Confident, glamorous, and radiant, she redefined what it meant to be a woman in hip-hop. With her bold outfits, raw lyrics, and natural beauty, she inspired a generation of young women who saw her as the fearless Queen Bee. She carried herself like royalty, and for a time, she was untouchable. But behind the diamonds and fur coats, Kim carried insecurities. In a 2000 interview with Newsweek, she revealed her struggles with self-esteem, confessing that men she dated constantly cheated on her with what she called European-looking women. That confession revealed the root.
Lil' Kim looked good in a 2000 or in the 90s. She shouldn't let no man get to her and make her change her identity. Like, that's crazy though. Like, Lil' Kim, you should love who you really is though. Like, you don't have to change your face, your nose, your butt, your breasts, your body. She probably dating men that who probably say something bad about her. It's crazy though. Lil' Kim look real good, but she let the men get to her, or that just an excuse. I don't know. It's either of them two things.
of a transformation that shocked fans. Over the years, Kim drastically altered her face and body through surgeries, sparking accusations of skin bleaching and cosmetic
Skin
addiction.
bleaching.
Each new public appearance fueled debate. Was she reinventing herself or destroying the beauty that once made her an icon? By the 2010s, she
destroyed her
was
beauty.
almost unrecognizable. In 2019, selfies she posted ignited a firestorm of comparisons to Michael Jackson. While some defended her right to
Ooh.
reshape her image, others mourned the loss of the Lil Kim they grew up admiring. One viral tweet captured the heartbreak. She was perfect the way she was.
Yeah, she
Now,
was.
I don't even
Now.
recognize her. In many ways, Lil Kim didn't just fade from the charts, she faded from herself. Her story is both a cautionary tale about self-image in the spotlight and a painful reflection of the pressures women in hip-hop still face today. Number 7 brings us to Beanie Sigel. At the
Beanie
dawn of the
Sigel.
2000s, Beanie Sigel stood as one of Rockefeller Records' brightest stars. With a gritty, commanding voice and street-certified authenticity, he became Jay-Z's right-hand man, the enforcer of the dynasty. On tracks like Feel It in the Air, Beanie showcased not just lyrical grit but emotional vulnerability. Fans believed he was built for longevity, a true general of hip-hop, but fate had other plans. In 2006, Beanie survived a shooting during an attempted robbery.
Oh,
The violence
wow.
followed him, and in 2014 he was shot again, this time
Oh
in the
my
stomach
goodness.
outside his New Jersey home. The injury was devastating. Doctors
trying to
removed
kill him.
one of his lungs, leaving his voice permanently weakened. The once booming Beanie Sigel now sounded raspy, his breath short, his power stripped away. Add to that years of legal troubles, prison sentences for weapons charges and tax evasion, and Beanie's career never fully recovered. When he resurfaced in interviews, fans were stunned by his frail frame and weakened voice. The same man who once stood chest to chest with Jay-Z and Nas in lyrical warfare now looked like a shadow of himself. On rap forums, one fan summed up the heartbreak. "It's painful to see Beanie like this. He went from fear to fragile." Beanie's decline is more than physical. It's a reminder of how violence, health, and bad luck can steal a future that once seemed certain. At number 8, we find Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, Trick Daddy was Miami royalty. With hits like I'm a Thug and Let's Go,
I'm a
he put his
thug.
city on the map and became the face of Southern grit. He was stylish, confident, and known for his raw, commanding presence. But behind the swagger, Trick was fighting a hidden battle. In 2009, he revealed he had lupus, a disease he'd
Oh.
secretly been living with since 1998. Unlike many patients, Trick refused consistent medication, claiming the treatments made him feel worse than the disease itself. That decision left scars, literally. Lupus caused visible discoloration
Man.
across his face and skin, a painful reminder of his condition. The once smooth-faced rapper began to look far older than his years, his body worn down by illness. On Love, Hip Hop, Miami, fans saw the vulnerable side of Trick Daddy, weary, scarred, and more open about his struggles than ever. He admitted he regretted not taking better care of himself, often urging others to do what he didn't, stay on medication. His honesty earned
Trick
him
Daddy look like
respect,
my
but his
granddad.
appearance shocked longtime fans who remembered the youthful, fiery rapper of the early 2000s. Trick Daddy's story shows the cruel reality of chronic illness. He didn't just age, he aged under the weight of a disease he couldn't outrun. In the hip-hop world, where toughness is everything, Trick's scars became symbols of survival, but also of regret. Moving to number 9, Coolio. When Gangsta's Paradise dropped in 1995, Coolio became a global sensation. His unique braided hairstyle, energetic flow, and charismatic presence made him stand out in a crowded industry. At his peak, he looked young, confident, and larger than life. But as time passed, so did the look that defined him. Fans began to notice the change. His once thick braids thinned into what blogs cruelly dubbed struggle braids. Memes and internet jokes mocked his appearance, with some saying his hair looked parted like the Red Sea. Coolio often laughed it off,
Red
even
Sea.
leaning into the jokes
Really?
during interviews. But behind the humor, his
That's
health
his
was quietly
hairstyle.
declining. By the 2010s, Coolio appeared frail, his face etched with years of stress and hardship. He admitted to past cocaine use and brushes with the law, and while he kept performing, fans couldn't help but see the toll time had taken. When he passed away in 2022 at just 59, the world mourned a man who had once defined an era of hip-hop, but looked decades older in his final years. His story is bittersweet. The same Coolio who electrified the mid-90s was almost unrecognizable by the end, his body bearing the marks of life's weight. As one fan wrote on Twitter, Coolio gave us a paradise, but life didn't give him one. His decline was a reminder that fame doesn't protect against the struggles of health, addiction, and aging. At number 10, it's Lil Boosie.
Little Boosie.
In his prime, Boosie Badazz was the heartbeat of Baton Rouge. Slim, stylish, and filled with southern swagger, his gritty storytelling made him a legend across the South. But while his music flourished, his health was quietly under attack. Boosie was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at just 19 years old, a lifelong battle that nearly killed him multiple times. He admitted to vomiting mid-performance after missing insulin shots, and his condition often left him weak on stage. In 2015, things got worse. He was diagnosed with kidney cancer. The disease forced him into emergency surgery, where doctors removed part of his kidney. Fans rallied around him, flooding social media with prayers and support. Prison time only compounded his struggles. The lack of proper medical care during his incarceration further damaged his health. Today, his thin frame and weary appearance stand in stark contrast to the vibrant rapper he once was. On Instagram, Boosie is open about his pain, often asking fans for prayers and admitting that some days the battle feels heavier than the music. Yet, despite it all, he remains resilient. Boosie still records, still tours, and still fights not just for himself, but for fans who see him as a symbol of survival. His journey shows that even legends aren't immune to illness, and that sometimes the hardest battles happen off the stage. At number 11, we turn to Scott Storch. In the early 2000s, Scott Storch wasn't just a producer, he was the producer. He crafted hits for 50 Cent, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, and Dr. Dre. Known for his signature piano riffs and flashy lifestyle, he was worth over $70 million at his peak. Storch was young, sharp, and untouchable, dripping in designer clothes and surrounded by A-list celebrities. But behind the glitz, had him in a chokehold. By his own admission, he blew through $30 million in just 6 months. Private jets, supercars, and wild parties became his daily routine.
All that money.
By 2006, his career spiraled, and his addiction consumed everything. He lost homes, cars, and friendships. At one point, he was reduced to borrowing money just to survive. When fans saw him years later, he was unrecognizable. His once clean-cut, stylish look was replaced with a hollow frame, his eyes heavy with regret. In 2015, he filed for bankruptcy, listing only $3,600 in assets, a shocking fall from grace for a man who once redefined hip-hop production. Though he's since made a small comeback, the damage lingers. His story is etched into hip-hop history as one of the most infamous cautionary tales about success, addiction, and loss. A fan summed it up on Reddit. Scott Storch didn't just age, he burned out, and we all watched it happen in real time. At number 12, it's Shock G. In the late 80s and early 90s, Shock G was a pioneer. As the frontman of Digital Underground, he gave the world the classic Humpty Dance, and even helped launch Tupac's career. His quirky style, iconic nose disguise, and youthful energy made him one of hip-hop's most unique personalities. He wasn't just a rapper, he was a performer who lit up every stage he touched. But fame came with shadows. Behind the humor and energy, Shock G battled substance abuse for decades. His career slowed in the 2000s, and his once vibrant image faded into tabloid stories about arrests and drug-related struggles. Fans who saw him in later years noticed the toll. He looked weary, older than his age, his spark dimmed by years of addiction. In 2021, tragedy struck when Shock G was found dead in a Tampa hotel room from an accidental overdose. He was only 57. The hip-hop community mourned, but many also reflected on how drastically he had aged from the playful icon of the 90s to the man who struggled in his final years. One fan tweeted, "From Humpty Hump to heartbreak, Shock G gave us joy, but his pain aged him before his time." His story is a haunting reminder of how even the brightest stars can fade when demons go unchecked. At number 13, we focus on Mystikal. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Mystikal was known as the James Brown of hip-hop. His raspy, high-energy flow and explosive stage presence made him a standout star. With hits like Shake Ya Ass and
Oh
Danger,
yeah, that
Mystikal
song.
looked like he was destined for a long-lasting career. He was fit, stylish, and full of charisma, but legal troubles derailed everything. In 2004, Mystikal was sentenced to 6 years in prison on sexual battery and extortion charges. When he was released in 2010, fans were shocked at how much he had changed. The once muscular, energetic performer had aged visibly, his youthful spark dulled by time behind bars. Things only got worse. Mystikal was arrested multiple times after his release,
Man.
facing additional sexual assault allegations as recently as 2022. Today, instead of being remembered for his music, many see him as a cautionary tale of wasted potential. His physical appearance reflects that fall he looks older, heavier, and weary, a stark contrast to the animated performer fans once loved. Industry insiders often say prison ages you twice as fast, and in Mystikal's case, it shows. A YouTube comment on one of his old videos put it bluntly, "This ain't the same Mystikal. Prison broke him body, mind, and career." His decline is both physical and reputational, marking one of the harshest downfalls in hip-hop. At number 14, we turn to
Again?
Flavor Flav. In the late 80s, Flavor Flav was the heartbeat of... Finally, at number 15, we end with Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh,
In the
dude,
90s,
that's
ODB was the wild heart of the Wu-Tang Clan. Charismatic, raw, and unpredictable, he brought a dangerous edge to every performance. With his gold teeth, braids, and manic energy, he looked untouchable, a rock star wrapped in hip-hop's chaos. But his lifestyle caught up to him. Years of abuse, arrests, and mental health struggles aged him far beyond his years. By the early 2000s, ODB looked worn down, his once lively eyes clouded by exhaustion and paranoia. Fans who saw him during his Rockefeller stint noted how frail he looked compared to the wild man of the 90s. In 2004, tragedy struck when ODB collapsed in a recording studio from an overdose just 2 days before his 36th birthday. At the time of his death, he looked closer to 50. The years of chaos and prison time had stripped him of his youth. Even in his legacy carries the duality of brilliance and self-destruction. As one fan wrote on Reddit, ODB didn't age badly, he lived fast, and it showed. His decline was perhaps the most visible of all, a tragic reminder of what happens when talent collides with demons. Some rappers aged gracefully, but these 15, they aged terribly because of drugs, prison, illness, surgeries, and personal demons. But here's the twist. Some of them are still fighting, still making music, still showing up. Which raises the question, will any of them ever return to glory? Or have we already seen the best of them? What do you think? Which rapper's transformation shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts below because this conversation is far from over.
Shoot, what shocked me the most is Lil Kim. She looked way better than in the 90s. What the comment said? You're showing half of these people in the 90 to 90. 30 years later, they are going to look older. Yeah, they're going to get old, though. They ain't going to be young the rest of their life. Flavor Flav is on the list twice. Yeah, he was on twice. I don't know why he on twice. I know there's another rapper out there. One person who has far hold on. One person who has forever youth that never age is, who is that? Search it up. Who's that? Oh, him. Oh. Recipe to DMS. Yeah, recipe to him. Flavor Flav is almost 70 years old. He is. He was on there twice. I thought you were gonna talk to somebody else, like. But to me, boys and girls, I'm just can't cross watch certain videos and then turn around and say, you know what, I want to react to this video. So yeah, but to me though, that's the biggest transparency is Lil Kim, um, Busta Rhymes, but he looked different, drinking, partying, all that stuff. But he lost weight though. How he get better though? I really do. Now, and Lil Kim, she look like a freaking leprechaun. So I know some of y'all said the same thing. Her bad body looking, don't look right. Oh, he should did a little nigga Nas too. How she look? How did she look? Wait, back then. True. But to me, boys and girls, I'm gonna wrap this video up. If you made it to the end of the video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, turn back to our comment below, share, and favorite. Do not forget that subscribe button because we help the channel a lot. And hit me on Instagram, TikTok, show you brothers some love. And I will see y'all next time, boys and girls. Alright? And y'all have a blessed day. Be safe out there. Love y'all. Deuces.